Everyone has heard the tales. Children being sold for cheap, assassins for hire, the biggest stories being of the infamous red rooms in what is called the dark web. I made it a goal, a mission, to discover which of the stories we have heard are real or just myths, and answer the question, should the US government get involved? Or would their involvement create an unstoppable enemy? Many people assume that the deep web and the dark web are the same thing but different name. That is not the case. While the dark web is where all the stories we've heard of are in, the deep web is where the dark web is contained. The deep web is just a part of the internet Google can't get to, no matter what you search nor how you worded your sentence. A school server or a business server that has its own website that only that server has access to, and it still requires a password, would be some of the more common but unknown parts of the deep web. When trying to access the deep web through a computer at home to get into the parts of the deep web that doesn't require a username and password, you will need the right programs, the most famous one being the Onion browser. Onion browser was created by the Navy, which is a browser that connects multiple servers from around the world and bounces your fake location across the world, making it almost impossible to discover due to your real location being layers underneath all the fake ones. Which is quite funny due to the US government wanting to get involved to shut down something they created. Moving on, once getting this program, one must then find the way into the dark web. The easiest place to go to is Hidden Wiki, which provides a starting place to start spelunking your own adventures into the dark web. Caution be advised to those who dare to tremble the dark web. High risk of getting personal information being hacked, or worse. Now that those who only wanted to learn how to start and have already started their adventures, here's more information for the ones that just kept on watching, or those who wanted to see the good stuff without going in themselves. Due to the dark web being such a huge size that a true 100% answer could never be found, nor could research give a definitive answer, since most of the entire world would not be able to afford to see the top 1% deals, and the parts that only the 1% can access. So which of the stories most of us have heard are real? Around 50% is true, and 50% being false. There have been no real reported cases of the infamous Red Rooms. If these stories are real, it must require one to be of high class with lots of money to spend to get into one, and the same goes for the assassins for hire. While all of those have no evidence of existing, the other stuff has had evidence of existing. Many websites containing children being sold, videos being able to be viewed for free, a black market for illegal drugs, weapons, services, all as simple to get as if ordering on Amazon. However, there might be what the average person would call many when in comparison to the dark web as a whole, it is only a small fraction of what is out there. Most of the dark web actually being consistent of social websites where people trade information, talk about their drug abuse, listening to whistleblowers, and all in between, where people just want to be able to do what they want on the internet without having to worry about the government watching and knowing their every move. While most view the dark web as a place of evil and filth, when in actuality, there is a good percentage of it being filled with light. Doctors helping patients over the internet, and helping patients know what drugs actually help with recovering, which illegal drugs could be mixed with pharmaceutical drugs, without having to fear death, and telling a patient when their usual doctor is actually trying to help or just taking as much money as they can from them. Forcing the doctors who really want to help the world out of the country or never allowed in the first place due to the 1% being greedy and wanting to keep their hold on the public. Hackers that, although might do illegal things here and there to help pay the bills, usually spend their free time looking for websites that contain child pornography and then hacking into them, shutting them down, and then sending a copy of all the information about the users and the website owners to the police, possibly even the FBI, depending on how big the website was and how far its reach was. Most hackers that were open to communicate denied when asked for an interview due to wanting to keep everything a secret, or not trusting who could be behind the screen, or asking for an amount that would make a low-wage worker's jaw hit the floor. Should the U.S. government get involved? This question seems to split the internet in half, due to both many being misinformed and differences in beliefs about the subject of being anonymous. The U.S. government got involved once already before, creating a big commotion due to both how the government presented the case and also brought the world's attention to a new world full of anonymity. Shutting down a website called Silk Road, which was nicknamed the Amazon of drug trade, but like a hydra, cutting ahead created two more to take its place, while also causing a big boom in activity in the dark web and causing an economic boom for the dark web, which used bitcoins as an untraceable online currency. Another huge boom happened 2 weeks ago from the time of this recording, July 1st, 2017, due to the involvements of 3 countries. The first two being China and Japan making bitcoins an illegal form of currency, while the third being Russia pushing it to be a legal and usable form of currency, which pushed the average bitcoin costing around $700 or so to increase into a new record of almost $3,000. If the US got involved, that would cause a new boom, making those who invested in bitcoins early into earning some of the biggest benefits of all time. At the same time, grabbing more attention to the dark web, when already more generations have been learning of the dark web's existence, creating more monsters than it could ever solve. While most of the stories we have heard of the dark web being false or changed slightly for dramatic effect, might push other people away. But those of you who have listened to this long tale could see the possibility of learning things that most can never learn. Create a new business that can make millions. The possibilities are endless. So why should the US government try to control something that is already worldwide and try to regulate it? because it only takes a few bad apples to ruin the bunch. As much as people think of the darkness of the dark web, one must know of the light of the dark web that they have ignored. As much as it can hurt, it can heal. It all depends on who will serve truth and justice, and who will allow their inner demons to take control of them. Should the U.S. government... Hey, what's going on, everybody? Icyarrow here. Thank you all for watching the video this far. This was for a school project, that is due, at least for time that I'm recording this, in like 8 hours. But, you know, school and such, so, tired. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you guys want to see more about dark web and my research on it and such, tell me in the comments down below. You know, if you enjoyed it, you know, hit the like button, you know, like. If you really enjoyed it, favorite. I'll take anything right now because I am so freaking tired on this. I have spent roughly 4 hours on it. An hour of writing, 30 minutes to 30 to 45 minutes of recording, and then having about the rest of it being editing it all together. So anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I'm Icyarrow, and I hope to see you all in the next video. See ya.